Okay, so let's continue our wood wall here now that we've got the wood post created. So I'm going to jump out of that wood post and I'm going to go to the wood wall here and take a look at this copy here. So this is fine. This is our quick and dirty copy just to get the shape in order. We're going to update this here pretty soon. So what I want to do now is pull in those wood posts. Okay, so I'm going to do the GTE. So I want a couple wood posts here. There we go. And what I want to do is I want to create a line, all right, that actually gets the size from this copy here, because we're going to create the wall first and then put the posts in front of it. All right. So what I want to do is I want to create a line. This is going to basically be our guides here. So this is going to be called the post line. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to get the length of the X size of the wood plank, or of this copy. All right, we'll just call this the wall copy so we know. All right, so what I want to do is get the BB box X size from that wall copy node. So wall copy underscore copy, there we go. And we want the DX size. All right. So now if I turn on the line and just template out the wall, we also need to make the line lie down in the X direction. So we are getting the correct length for that line. We just need to position this. So what we need to do is we need to copy the length parameter and paste that into the origin in the X, and then multiply that by 0.5 and make it negative. And what that does is it basically takes the length, all right, moves it forward in X, and then we multiply it in half, so it brings it back by half, and then we negate it, so it pulls it all the way to the center. So now we know where the ends of our wall are with these points here. All right, so what we're going to want to do then is apply some sort of offset. So before I create any UI for it, I usually like to go and just test out some values, because all I have to do is just type in, subtract some sort of offset value, like so. So this is one way you could do it. Another way you could do it, so let's say I don't do the offset there. You could also just do a carve if you wanted to use the node straight up, if you're not as comfortable with expressions and the math and stuff, even though that's not complicated. This is one way you could actually do that same thing. So you'll notice the carve node will bring those points in for us as well. So let's say I copy the first U parameter, paste it in for the second U parameter, and then just subtract 1. So 1 minus the first U. What happens is now we get the offset on both sides. So now we can use this. All right, and I'll just leave that because there's no need for me to go back. Perfect. So now what we need to do is we need to make sure that the posts sit in front of the wall. So that's pretty easy. You start to end up using BBBox a lot for a lot of these basic construction type of things inside of Houdini. So what I want to do is I want to translate it forward, right? So we need to get the BBBox from the wall copy node, okay? And we want the DZmax, so it's the max value that it's facing in Z, because I don't need the whole Y or Z size. All right, so let's get the Zmax, and voila, there we go. So now if we were to copy those guys onto this, so let's get these guys over here. So now if we were to copy these wood posts right here onto those, so let's do a copy to points node, like that. You notice that they are actually sitting right inside of the wall, and that's not cool. So let me drop down a merge node. Don't necessarily want, maybe you want that, but I don't want that for this particular wall. I want them sitting right flush with the front surface. Okay, so what I want to do, there's a couple ways you could take care of it. We could always, inside of this transform, let's call this the Z offset, or Z, yeah, Z offset's good. And then this will be the line offset. There we go. What we could do is we could add on the half the Z size of the post to this right here. So what we could do is we could say plus the BB box, so you can start to string these things together So BB Box GT wood post shape. All right, we want that DZ size and times 0.5. We need to put those inside of parentheses too. So it processes that first, the order of operations. And there you go. So now we can offset the lines. And if we change the width of the wall itself, so if we go to the base param, so change this, the posts will go with it as well. Let's do something a little dramatic there. There we go. So now we've just created an asset that allows us to assemble this wall type structure. All right, so the height can also be a little bit, or the same height as the wall as well. So like, let's literally take, so for inside of this post shape, we have the Y size here. Okay. So what I want to do is actually get the BB Box from the wall copy, and I want to hook up that dy size. And then I want a little bit more, so I'm going to add 0.1 to it. So it just kind of tucks or peeks over it just a little bit, so we can bring it down some more, and then what we'll do is we'll expose that parameter. Cool. All right, so now we're really starting to get somewhere. I might actually want to shove these guys together a little bit more. The great thing though now is that we can go and change all these parameters. All of our UVs are being generated for us, so we never have to go back. And that's really one of the benefits to creating all these kind of base shapes, right? It gets things going, and you can reuse them to create so many variations. It's pretty awesome. All right, so now we have the posts placed. The next thing I want to do is work on the nail and bolt shapes, those base shapes, and get those guys on there. And then once we do that, we will start to do some high-res modeling treatments to these guys and just kind of get everything, all the rest of the stuff exposed. And that should close it out for this particular model. All right, thanks so much.